Who's buying these shares in these companies? Who is it?
So our average investor age is about 27.
I'm sorry, what?
Average investor age is about 27.
27.
27.
You're putting a 2 in front of the 7. I would have guessed 47.
No, 27.
Young people
Yes.
have no money and don't care about their futures. That's what we're told.
No, not at all.
Okay, so...
Yeah, it's young self-directed investors.
Got it.
Yeah.
And they think this is fun?
No, they think this is diversification.
Got it.
And they are very in tuned with the idea that ownership and possession and utility are not the same thing, and they don't have to be connected with each other anymore.
Ownership and
possession and utility, right?
Yeah.
It does. They don't have to be one and the same. So that's native for them. And becoming self-directed, and they're more comfortable investing self-directed behind themselves, learning, doing the diligence themselves, and then making a decision, as compared to, like, it's not like they're going into JP Morgan to make that decision for them, right? In fact, they've been alienated in most cases by those types of institutions. And so here you've got young people who want to be diversified, who are thinking about their futures, and they want to have access to this. So what's nice though is, I mean, we have a very diverse investor base. You could have a 21-year-old investing with a 70-year-old in a car that the 70-year-old grew up in, and the 21-year-old thinks is cool. And that's something that is important.
Robinhood, when they pitched me, they had the same idea, which was similar idea, which was like, I was like, what are you guys doing at Robinhood? They're like, we're going to make an app that gets young people to trade stocks. I'm like, young people don't want to trade stocks. They don't get it. They don't want to do it. They're like, yeah, no, we have a hook. We're going to get them in. I'm like, what's the hook? They're like, we're not going to charge them. I was like, so you're going to get a group of people who have never done this behavior, and the way you're going to build a business around them is to lose money from letting them do it for free.
Correct.
And they said, yes. I said, I'm in. Because if you can convert a group of people who aren't doing the behavior,
yes,
what is the prize? See, this is what you got to think about. What do you win? Not what are the chances I win? And this is the fundamental problem with people who are not degenerate gamblers. They think, I have it's going to be 51-1 that I pull the ace of spades out of the deck. So I got a 1 in 52 chance, roughly 2%. Let's call it 2% for, let's say you took 2 of the aces out and you just left 2 of the aces in, the ace of spades and the ace of hearts.
Okay.
So you got 50 cards in the deck. If I told you, pull the ace of spades and get $100, would you do it?
Wait, what do I have to put at risk?
Whatever amount you want. $100.
Right.
Pay $1.
Pay $1.
I'll give you back 100 if you pull the ace of spades.
Right. So my expected outcome is $2, and I'm paying $1 for $2.
Correct.
Right.
You would do it all day long.
Of course.
Most people would never do it because the majority case is you do not win the 100 for your $1 bet. But anybody who can do math or thinks about it is those are better odds, so you should do it. And that's why people who are playing poker calculate pot odds and just do basic calculations if it's worth doing or not.
Sure.
And in your case, it does seem silly, like cars, okay, whatever, like car people are weird. What you're looking at is, what are the chances that finite coveted items increase in value over the next 20 years?
Correct.
It's 100%.
Correct.
They're coveted. They're not going to go away. Now, as the global market becomes Western, the number of people who covet the things the West covet goes up.
Correct.
So I look at this as a global play.
It is a global play.
People in China, at some point, and in Japan, figured out Macallan was a great scotch. And in the Middle East, they did. You know what they did with all the Macallan? They bought it all up. Same thing, Pappy Van Winkle, whatever, wines. So all these wineries, and then what happened when the Middle East started printing money from their oil? They started going to Ferrari and saying, we'll take all of them. And Ferrari doubled their, I don't know if this is true or not, but I was told at some point the Middle East was buying so many Ferraris that they were buying...
Up their production, right.
They doubled their production to keep up with the demand from the Middle East alone, and that half the Ferraris were just being shipped to the Middle East with crazy, wacky custom stuff on them and never being driven.
Yep.
And that somewhere in the Middle East, there's thousands...
Troves of these things, yes.
Thousands of them owned by individuals that, if they were on the market, would... I don't know what that would do to the market. But anyway, is the play here that people in India and China will join the middle class, the upper become rich and ultra rich and want to buy these things eventually?
I believe that. I mean, I think that's the goal, right? People go from sort of shows of wealth to stores of wealth, and these are, you can't reproduce the marquee Lamborghini, the marquee Ferrari, the marquee Porsche, right? They're just ingrained in society, and as we keep going to more and more homogenized things, it seems to me that these handmade these analog things have that inherent value that's going to be very important. And I think young people get that. I mean, I certainly did. The other thing that I really always thought about was, so I have a limited set of resources, right? And in that limited set of resources, things I like collectible cars, right? That's something that I'm really personally passionate about. So for me, I always thought about, if I have $100,000, let's say, that I'm going to dedicate to this thing that I care about, I could take all 100 and buy an investment / car that I use and enjoy. And I'm suboptimally invested on both ends. If I use it, I'm hurting my investment. If I don't use it, I'm hurting my enjoyment, right? But am I better off buying the $60,000 version of the same exact car, driving it every weekend to get coffee,
Not worry about it,
and take $40,000 and invest it with Rally Road across all of my?
It's so great because
That's right.